Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Jack, the snack that smiles back. How's your relationship with your in-laws? Is it good? Is it tight? Do you really just come together? There is a reason I am making these disgusting innuendos. The title of today's story: I ruined my mum's life and reputation. Now you might think the OP is confessing some shame here, but trust me, this mother deserves it. Just look at the cascade of awards here. We got paying respects. Some people just can't help but look. Some people are mind blown. At 4 platinums, 5 golds. This person is getting to enjoy like over a month in that /lounge, whatever that place. I don't know. I don't know the point of awards on Reddit. They're like NFTs in my eyes. What is this ghostly figure? Doom. Oh, buddy. Let's get started. My 40-year-old female parents, dad who's 63 and mum who's also 60, have been married for 43 years. I have 6 siblings. One's 42, one's 38, one's 34, 2 are 20, and 1 is 18. I have been with my husband, who's a 39-year-old male, since we were 15. I got pregnant at 17, and we moved in with my parents. I gave birth to my now 22-year-old daughter. We got married at 18 shortly after. My dad's father passed away shortly after our wedding and left his ranch-style house to my father. My grandparents built a house next door to my parents when they retired. My parents decided to let us live in this house and told us this would be my inheritance. My husband and I had no issues with this. We went on to have a 20-year-old male, 14-year-old female, 5-year-old female, and I'm also currently 7 months pregnant with my last child, a boy, due in April. Condoms? Who needs those? We're fine. Not to say they shouldn't breed if they want to. But okay. Big family, bigger family day by day. Let's just remind ourselves here. So this couple who's in their 60s now have 3 who are 20 years old and 1 who's 18 at the time of this story. Just remember that. There are 3 kids who are under the age of 22. I thought I had a good marriage. We were intimate more than twice a week. We went on date nights. We bought each other gifts. We didn't fight. My entire world was shattered on New Year's Eve when I returned early from a girls' trip I'd taken with some friends. I walked into my bedroom to find my mum being intimate with my husband. My mother screamed at me to get out of their bedroom, which really shook me up even more. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter, who was also home in her bedroom across the house getting ready for a party, she ran out and witnessed my all but a bedsheet naked mother run out of our house next door to her house and slam the door. My daughter was devastated and went to my sister's house. I asked her not to say anything until I first talked to my husband. I asked him for the truth. He told me that my mum seduced him when we were 18 and living in their house. They'd been having unprotected intimacy at least once a month for longer than we were married. I ran the math and was horrified because the timeline meant my twin brothers and youngest brother could be my husbands. So yeah, just a bit of casual little swinging party going on that wasn't really, you didn't really share the message to the rest of the family, did ya? Can we just reflect on how traumatizing that would be for the daughter to have seen her dad with her grandmother? So obviously at this point, they need to make this known. They need to tell the family. Oh, do you? Do you keep this a secret? How do you tell the rest of your siblings that, hey, just letting you know, your dad might actually be my husband and not our dad? How do you start that? I immediately called my dad and told him to come to my house without my mum. I made my husband confess, and my dad was devastated. He and my mum were high school sweethearts too. Needless to say, we could hear my mother screaming from her house when he confronted her. I then told my older sister, and she and I decided to have her throw a party for the whole extended family, and we invited my ex's family as well. At the party, I had my 22-year-old female daughter take all the kids to our basement and put on a movie. leaving only the adult children and siblings, and I told them exactly what they'd been doing. Most of the family is on my side, except my 3 youngest siblings, 38 female sister, and the ex's entire family. They all say I'm an a-hole for dropping this publicly, and word got out, and my mum's best friend, who was on leadership at my mum's church, my childhood church, called me to verify. My mum has since been let go as the children's pastor there, and she claims I've essentially ruined her reputation in life. My dad kicked her out, and she's now living with my 38 female sister. And lastly, my dad insisted on a DNA test for the 3 youngest boys before he'd consider anything to do with their marriage. The twins are my husband's bio children. I've since kicked him out, and he's living with his parents. Your youngest siblings are your husband's children. I wasn't expecting the story to reveal it just that soon. I was at least waiting for the update. And yes, there is an update to this at the end. I don't want to make the statement about the religion here, but I'm kinda not surprised that this clearly religious-centered family who's just pumping out kids, that the ladies would eventually, want to branch out for a little bit. Sorry, that sounds like I'm excusing it. That doesn't excuse it. The worst thing, though, is the husband later on kicks back. Like, instead of accepting your shame and your disgust, he tries to pretty much ruin the rest of her life. My father and I are discussing me moving into his much larger house, and him selling my grandfather's house, and him giving me the money to buy a new house somewhere else to get rid of the memories. My husband is appalled and furious that I proved he actually is about to have 7 kids instead of 5, that I'm going to be taking half his business away from him. My husband started his own HVAC company a few years back, and for the first 5 years, I helped him get it set up, ran the office completely, and took time away from my teaching career to help him get this established. And in my state, all marital assets, including business, are split 50-50. Since the house was still in my father's name, my husband will get no money from the sale. Neither will my mother, since inherited assets are not subject to be split in divorces. My mother is also likely to not get any alimony, as our state is not a no-fault divorce state. I'm now over a month removed, still extremely bitter and angry at my mother, especially at her hypocrisy of calling me a whore and shaming my family when she's done much worse. I also despise my ex with everything within me now, as he was fricking both my mum and me, in some instances coming to our bed minutes later. He got my mother pregnant less than a week after getting me pregnant, and while I thought it was so cute and fun that I shared a pregnancy experience with my mum, she was carrying my children's half-siblings. He has broken all trust I had in men and being faithful. I have already procured a good lawyer from the firm that helped us in financial matters for both me and my dad is helping pay for it. My twin brothers, one of my sisters, and my entire ex's family have gone no contact with me and my minor children, and my children have essentially lost all of their grandparents but my dad, 2 uncles, and an aunt on my side, and my husband's 3 brothers, due to this mess. I've also developed ulcers and digestive issues because of this, so I'm visiting the doctor soon, and I've been in therapy since the first week of January. I've offered this for my 2 adult children if they need family therapy with all of us, but they're doing individual therapy right now. My 14-year-old knows that we're getting divorced, and why, and she's so angry at her dad that I struggle sending her to his house on the weekends. I feel like she's old enough to make a decision on that, but I don't want to damage her relationship with her dad. I've told all my kids it's okay to love their dad, even if he hurt me, but the oldest 2 have cut him off 100%. I won't tell my youngest 2 until they're teens why we got divorced, and everyone else has agreed to not spill anything until they're old enough to understand. Now, in regards to how it came to be, it was pure happenstance that I came home a day early from a trip because I was uncomfortable from being nearly 7 months pregnant and just wanted my own bed for me to find out. Knowing they'd be carrying on this full-blown affair still if I hadn't caught them is what I'm still upset about. The fact that the grandmother and father of my children cared so little about destroying our families is what I can't get past. What's hardest for me is that my own mother would do this to me and would continue to do this for years and not caring when it all blew up in her face that she would be destroying her entire family. Yes, let us remind ourselves, this was... Oh gosh, what's the ages here? She would have been in her early 40s and he would have been 18. What? I'm all for advocating the acceptance of switching those gender standards where, older man, younger woman. Hey, let's let older women have some fun with the younger flesh for once. I mean, okay, to a degree. Still, under the age of 18, that's still creeping on them. But... God. This is not what you do to gain more experience in the bedroom, mate. I don't know, man. There's just so much to unpack here with the absolute bullshmittery of it all. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like he very much deserves to lose half his business for this. In the end of the day, it wasn't really his business, it was their business. He didn't build it on his own, they built it together. Anyway, so you think it can't get any worse? It does! So an edit, to add insult to injury, my husband confirmed in one of our mediated conversations, the affair started when I apparently made him angry. He didn't tell me, and instead vented to my mum when they were alone. She comforted him, and they had it on. He loved it, and then pursued her after that. He said he would have divorced me, but knew he'd get cut off from her, and she was so much better at it than me, so stuck it out with me. He told me I was a placeholder. Of all the betrayal and low blows, that statement is what keeps me up at night. If anyone wants to grab some knives and, pitchforks and find this man and absolutely jugulate him and castrate, I'm down. What's your at? Where we meeting? The only reason he stayed with this woman for 22 years is so he could bang her mum. It's just so insane. I want to laugh in just... Okay, it's like when I watched Game of Thrones and the red wedding scene happens and everyone's being stabbed and murdered. I laughed at that. Not because it was funny, but because it was just so... What the flip, man? I mean, he had more kids with her. It's not even stupidity. It's just absolute manipulative piece of God damn. Let's just go to the comments here. Top vote here. Most upvote. Good on you for not literally stabbing your husband. I wouldn't be as strong. Some other people suggesting the fact of checking your state laws. Kids can decide whether or not to go to their non-custodial parents' house for visitation. If that's the case with you, I wouldn't force your daughter to go if she does not want to. Though, hey, we're open to every side of opinions here on my channel, so let's see if any one of these thousands and thousands of comments can actually offer any sense of a valid opinion on the other side of the fence. If there's anything this story tells us, it's that if you ever watch a movie or a TV series and there's a really stupid, ridiculous love triangle of some kind going on, you can rest easy, understanding that, dear God, okay, maybe there's actually worser things out there. I think it's fair to say there's nothing... This is taking forever! Come on, someone give me a really stupid opinion to make fun of! Oh, for God's sake. Oh, you just have to shove in your... I'm so sorry you went through this. Oh my God, I'm livid for you. I don't understand how someone could be so evil. Emoji. But please, for the astrology girls, can we know your ex's zodiac sign or even exact birthday and time of birth so we can see his birth chart and look at and analyze the aspects he has? This is legit the worst man I've ever heard of and need to avoid. He sounds like a sociopath narcissist or could even be a psychopath. And if possible, your mother's zodiac sign too, or birthday and time of birth. If you don't know the times and birth, that's fine as well. If you are not comfortable with sharing any of the information, you can check this website for their sun, moon, ascendant, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, my butthole signs, and just share what you find out, please. This would really help out the astrology community when we research cases of evil narcissists like this. Stop trying to validate your stupid, unproven BS. I'm sorry. Look, it's fun. You know, personality quizzes are fun. It's not a religious... It's not even religion. It's a cult. It's the female version of crypto and NFT bros. You don't get a number, you get a 0, which is technically still a number, but shut up. So we move to the update then. Now remember how I told you that the husband tries to kick back and absolutely ruin her in the process? Yeah, that still hasn't happened yet. Yeah. Date. I tried hard to go to the route of a mediated divorce, but my ex told me yesterday through his lawyers that he doesn't believe that the baby I'm carrying is his, and he wants a DNA test as soon as he's born because he doesn't want to support a child that isn't his. He also believes I routinely cheated on him through our marriage and that I knew about his ongoing affair and used that as my excuse to have my own affairs. None of that is true, but I kind of wish it was, because it would make the divorce easier. My lawyer basically told me to get ready for a long, drawn-out, brutal contested divorce, and that my ex is likely going to try every underhanded tactic in the book to make my life even more miserable. Now let's remember too, she's also probably at this point about 8 months pregnant, about to have birth. I'm pretty sure this is like 2 months in now. So just imagine that casual level of stress on top of having to give birth. Yeah! A lot of the comments seem to be rather optimistic about how this could end, though. He's going to get so fricked in court. There's no way he's going to come out of this on good terms. No possible way. So, just so you can depose of him and ask all kinds of questions. Some people even suggesting that they just expose him publicly. Let everyone know about this man. And, a court of public opinion is bad for, people who don't deserve it. But I think we can agree that maybe cancel culture deserves a comeback just for this man. Honestly, OP, at this point, if he's going to make things difficult, you may want to consider going public with this. It may help your case, considering there's no way he is going to win in the court of public opinion. The sheer embarrassment may make him decide he wants to be reasonable and end the divorce proceedings as quickly as possible. Check with your lawyer first, though. Hope he does respond. My lawyer said that he's just going to prove he's the father and make it easier for me to get the child support. Additionally, my lawyer is building a case for emotional damage and trauma for me to get spousal support on top of child support for what he's doing now. Good! Drain him! Drain everything he owns. You deserve this from him. I'll be the first to absolutely say that, the divorce court and stuff is very broken, that it really relies a lot on a general understanding on genders and not so much just, that family-specific niche. But I will absolutely stand by you in saying that, just leech this man of everything. He does not deserve it. You cheat on your partner, you're scum. Of course, but this is beyond that. That's all the story is so far. We'll definitely keep our eyes out for an update if there is one. Oh my goodness, would it be? Oh, I hope it is a happy ending. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your time listening to this one. This was, if the OP is watching this video right now or just skimming through it and stuff, honestly, all the best to you. I really hope that this man suffers, as well as that woman who birthed you. She wasn't your mother. No, she doesn't deserve to be. She doesn't have the rights to have that sort of respected dignity thrust upon her. The only thing that deserves to be thrust upon her now is the shrimpy limp dick of your ex-husband. Anyway, that's me. My name's been Jack. Love your faces, people. Remember to drink water and not the energy drinks. I'll see you in the comments. Stop drinking those energy drinks. Drink water. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.